Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Brandon and today I would like to present to you the topic of how to calm down quick and effectively. So before I share my topic, I'd like to ask all of you a question, which is how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling happy because you can see me? Or are you feeling angry because you saw that angry picture just now? Anyway, I just want to share with you that there are actually six different basic emotions of humans. You can feel sad, you can feel happy, you can feel surprised, you can feel disgust, or you can feel angry or fear. Today, I'm going to focus on one of the negative emotions, which is angry. Let me ask you this question. When will you feel angry? Do you feel angry when you are late for work? Sometimes I feel very frustrated because I cannot wait for my bus, or I'm late when to punch my card during my working days. This makes me feel very angry. Sometimes when I argue with someone, it makes me feel angry too. So when do you feel angry? And a lot of times, people will deal with anger in different kinds of ways. Some people deal with anger by crying out loud. When they cry, they feel they can release all of their emotional stress at one go. Some people deal with anger by keeping in their hearts, and then they prefer to just go to sleep so that they can forget all of their anger. Some people will cuss or say out bad vulgar words at those who they are angry at. And sometimes people might like to punch each other, just like this picture. They want to punch at those who they feel angry at. So which are the ways that you deal with your anger? So as you can see, there are actually so many different kind of ways. And one TED talker has shared with us there are actually two common ways where people release their anger. Firstly is what they call the anger erupter. And secondly are the anger stuffers. When we say anger erupters, it are those people who will cuss or say vulgar words at each other, or are those who wants to punch at somebody's faces. Those are the anger erupters. For the anger stuffers, they will prefer to keep their anger in their hearts and maintain peace with each other. They sometimes will learn how to hide their emotions so that no one can see their anger. These are anger stuffers. But my main point over here is that even though you have different kinds of way of showing your anger, how are you going to calm down yourself? How to calm down when we are angry? That is the $1,000,000 question. So let me share with you on different ways that we can calm down ourselves. Firstly, let us look at this picture. Before we learn how to calm down ourselves, we must actually try to understand the neuroscience of anger. There's a neuropsychiatrist by the name of Dr. Daniel Siegel who have introduced us the RIS model. Basically, he is simplifying the brain structure according to the shape of our hands. So everyone, you can now take out your hands and do it with me. Show out your four fingers and your thumb tucked in into your palms. Basically, the four fingers are what he calls the upstairs brain or the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is located over here. This is the prefrontal cortex. And for the thumb, it's the amygdala, which is in our brain. And these neuropsychiatrists would say it as the downstairs brain. So what does it mean by the upstairs brain and the downstairs brain? So the upstairs brain, which is the prefrontal cortex, is actually the rational brain. A lot of times when we are rational, these fingers would come down and hold our emotional brain in place. It means it is actually controlling our emotions. So when you are in a conflict with someone, for example, you're arguing with your siblings, your rational brain will go up, and this leave your emotional brain exposed. And that means that you are losing control of yourself. And there's a term where they call it the amygdala hijack. And a lot of times when you are being hijacked by amygdala, you will get very emotional and you might want to punch at someone, or you might want to just cry out loud. So how do we bring back our rational brain down to control back our emotional brain? Which means, how do we calm ourselves down? Let me now show you the 4 steps of calming yourself down. Firstly, we can breathe. Can you follow me? Let us do it together. Breathe in and breathe out. Deep breathe in and breathe out. Studies have shown that by breathing in and out, it immediately calms down your nervous system and it brings oxygen into your brain so that it can calm down your emotional brain. So by breathing in and out for 10 seconds, you are actually effectively bringing down your rational brain to control back your emotional brain. Now here comes the second finger, which is name it. What does it mean by name it? Naming it is to name out the anger. So for example, when you're feeling so angry right now, you can feel that all of your body is in pain, especially your shoulders. So you can say, I'm so angry right now. I feel that my shoulders are so tight. Or if you are feeling to cry, you can say that, oh, I'm so angry. I feel like crying. Scientists have proven that by naming out your anger, you are actually allowing your brain to recognize your anger reactions. And by recognizing those anger reactions, it actually helps to soothe down your emotional brain. Your upper part brain that is naming out all those angers will help to calm down the emotional brain. So that is how you name your anger. Now here comes the third finger. The third finger is to do it differently. What does it mean by doing it differently? It is to bring anger and change it into something different. And in this case, we can say that we want to change anger into compassion. Let me give you an example. I'm so angry right now because my child is so naughty. How can I change it to compassion? I can say that, I must feel compassion. Maybe my child wants to play with me. That's why he's so naughty. Changing anger into compassion. So by changing anger into compassion, you can see that you are doing it differently. You are changing this negative energy into something positive. Now, let's look at the fourth finger, which is to inquire. What does it mean by inquire? That is to ask. But who should I ask? We should actually ask ourselves. a lot of times by asking ourselves, we are doing self-reflection. And we can ask, what is the reason that we are so angry? By asking ourselves, we are also finding out the root cause of our anger. And that will help us to put us in our deep thoughts and to calm ourselves down. If you find sometimes you can't really ask yourself because you're so angry, you can find somebody to ask. Go to a safe spot, for example, in a room that's quiet, and find someone to confide to. You can find someone that you trust the most. Give them a video call or even meet them up in person and ask them, why I'm so angry. Can you help me to find out? That is to inquire. So by doing all of these 4 steps, you're essentially learning how to calm down and learning how to bring back down your rational brain to your emotional brain. So friends, after learning this risk model and the 4 steps of calming down, I urge you to take action right now. Whenever you are in a conflict and you are so angry, learn how to breathe, how to name it, how to do it differently, and lastly, to inquire. And that will help you to calm down. Thank you, friends, for listening to my presentation. And that's all for today. Bye.